Hello, this is an Astroneer tutorial on how to turn quartz into scrap. So a little while ago I did a video on how to turn soil into scrap, and I said that for using quartz, which is not very efficient, you also need zinc. And apparently that's not the case. There was a Reddit post who was taking his quartz and using scrap to trade the zinc. So I incorporated that into my existing design, and now let's get into how this works. At first you have your import section for your soil, which is over here, next to your soil centrifuge. Now your soil centrifuge is not set to repeat. It's only going to print once per activation. And the reason we have that is if we fill up this entire platform with quartz, we cannot put the zinc on it to activate the printer. So what we have here is we have a tall storage with a empty not empty sensor, and when this empties, it starts up the soil centrifuge again. So it'll produce another 4 quartz. Here we have a small printer printing storage sensors. So you can use battery sensors if you want to print graphite or use graphite, but that is half as efficient as quartz, which is already half as efficient as resin. But quartz can now be fully automated with no other inputs necessary. This storage right here is extra space to hold the extra quartz as it gets made. And then we have the auto arm that is pulling the storage sensors that get made and shredding them. The scrap that gets pulled off here is going onto this medium platform, medium storage, which has a storage sensor set to empty not empty going into a count repeater. So this is anytime this empties, it triggers this count repeater, which triggers these 2 count repeaters. So when you produce 8 storage sensors, that's going to give you 6 scrap. We need to trade 4 of that scrap for the sphalerite to turn into zinc, and 2 of those scrap can be put in a storage container for whenever you want to actually use scrap. The count repeaters here are set to 6, which is the total number of scrap that you have or you're going to produce, and this storage repeater or this count repeater is set 2 counts above this. So that means it's going to count to 4 plus the 2 that are already on this, and that's going to trigger, and that flips these 2 auto arms, which flips where the scrap is going. And then once you get 2 more, this one will trigger and flip the auto arms again. So that's the way we get 4 scrap going this way and 2 scrap going the other way. So this auto arm is putting the scrap on the trade platform, and once we trigger this count repeater, it also triggers the trade platform. This makes sure that once we have the 4 scrap on here, it triggers the count repeater and it triggers the trade platform, and we trade the scrap for the sphalerite. Sphalerite comes over here, gets smelted, and once it's smelted, it pops over to here, which gets put on this platform using the auto arm, and the cycle repeats over and over again. So this will run basically forever, and as long as you have soil, and does not need anything other than an initial 4 scrap to trade for sphalerite. So again, you can now fully automate scrap production, although very inefficiently as you're using quartz, which only gives you 0.5 scrap per soil canister, rather than the most efficient method, which gives you 2 scrap per canister. That's it. If you like this video, please subscribe, and thanks for watching.